Hey guys, are you there? Well, welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter by chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a lonely craft brew on the side. I'm Jade, and I'm here with Nate and Aaron, right?
Hello.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we are here.
Good.
You're not alone.
Okay, good.
Yes.
As we peck out the eyes of chapter 9, of Soul of the Fire.
Is the reason you're asking if we're here is because you cannot see us currently, Jade?
No.
Oh.
I was doing a bit because Kaylin wakes up alone. So.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
sad.
Yeah.
See, I had misinterpreted. I thought maybe you were referencing something later in the chapter.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was just yeah. That was it. But see, I explained it now, so everybody who missed it will understand.
Yes, nailed
We're all
it.
there together.
Jade, we would never, ever make you do this by yourself. I think if that ever happens, it's a very clear personal choice you've made.
Ugh. I don't think I could do that.
That you want to record alone.
I don't think I could talk to myself for that long. I would get annoyed by myself way too quick.
That'd probably be a fascinating listen for the rest of us,
Yeah.
though.
I just really don't think I can listen to myself talk for that long.
I could.
Aw.
I think you're interesting as fuck.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But oh man, I'm glad that people here like to listen to us. I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully you are. And that is our moment of truth today.
That felt like a moment of
It was
truth.
a good one.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to hide behind my Squishmallow while I do the rest of the podcast so no one looks at me. So in our last chapter, basically they tried to find the chicken, couldn't find the chicken,
Yeah, they're trying to suss out the chicken.
and had a woman-to-woman with Kaylin, which, I mean, really didn't accomplish that much of anything. Then Richard found a fire that was burning in the rain and snuffed it out.
An elusive fire
Yeah.
that got away from him.
Yep.
It was a fire demon. There's no proof of that, but that's what he suspects.
Oh, yeah, you're just throwing it out there. That's fine. That's fine.
what happened.
That's
I'm
fine.
not saying it was a lava elemental trying to escape, but I did put it out. So let's just remember
Most of
I put it out. Most of it. Yes.
Most
That
of it.
for sure will not come back to haunt us.
Nope, that one's gone forever. Now, the water coming from the sky is not going to be a problem either. None of the water, like, we're going to move on. We're going to move past it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
past.
yeah, no, moving on.
The chapter opens with Kaylin waking to Richard's side of the bed being empty. See, it's not a good feeling. That's why I started the way I did. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's sad.
Well, and honestly, this whole thing, it kind of made me like check my privilege for a minute because as this continues, I really never thought about really how difficult this would be for a woman on the first day and like the second night of her marriage has all of this like massive responsibilities, but like you're still hoping that you get to sleep with your husband most nights of the week. And we're already 50% success rate. It's not a great start for Kaylin.
I do
Yeah.
want to say, I think that part of the issue with that, though, is just the culture of trying to make that day, that night, like that time is such a perfect time in a couple's life and nothing can go wrong, when in reality, life is fucking life. If you get to have your wedding day and your wedding night and then the preceding days without any fucking conflicts between you and your spouse, you are fucking lucky. There are plenty of things, especially during your wedding and immediately after, that are going to cause friction. And you got to roll with them. And you might not want to fuck right away afterwards. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a very stressful time.
That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But like the world builds all that shit up and makes it seem so terrible to feel that way right after your wedding, to make, and then it makes you feel like you guys must, oh well, this must not be right or whatever. Like, no, that's just life.
Yeah. Oh, is this a bad omen for the future? No, it's just stressful time. It'll calm down.
Yeah.
Give it another couple days
fine.
if you need to. Yeah.
You are the two leaders of a country and you snuck away to get married and you know, there was just a plague that, and there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
So like, it's not surprising that you weren't able to have like a pleasant fucking honeymoon.
Yeah, in the way they did all this. Plus, I feel like a lot of people view like once we get married, then the clouds will part and we'll have figured out our way in life. And it's just like, no, you're just married now. Tomorrow is still just going to be Tuesday. And I don't know why you get married on a Monday. That seems weird, but like,
if hey, you do you. If you want to get married on a Monday, go ahead.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But the rest of the world doesn't stop and nothing changes because you get married. Like life just goes on.
The work doesn't stop. You still have to actively contribute to your relationship.
Right.
And you wake up the next day. And I mean, granted, some people get lucky their parents and family leave them alone. But all the shit that happened last night at the wedding happened last night at the wedding, and you still gotta fucking deal with it the next day.
Yeah.
Usually, especially if you're still there.
We gotta talk about a few things that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom's gonna be bitching about how Aunt Bobby was fucking.
Oh, God. Aunt Bobby was fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to just say that this is normal. It's shitty. It would be nice to have it be a fuck fest for the next week with nobody else bothering you, just wonderful food and drinks and sex. But that's not realistic, and this is normal.
And I mean, this was the plan. You're going to come down, you're going to get married. Ultimately, yesterday, the day that you got married, was your day of, that's all that's happening today. Yeah. And now that's over. This is all going to plan, but it's time to like cinch it up and move on.
Yeah.
Think long term, Kaylin. You're going to be up in a palace directing a war, hopefully. Cross your fingers, but you'll be home every night.
They'll be together forever
and
after
he
this.
will be busy like 16, 18 hours a day, but then you'll have that 4 to 6, that special 4 to 6 at the end, and then he's all yours, and you'll have that every day, but she's not seeing that part of it. She wants it now, goddammit.
You know,
but I respect it.
I definitely was thinking that there's no way this is going to last long. But now, after what Jade just said, I am fully convinced that Richard and Kaylin are never going to get separated after this.
Never, ever.
They are fucking super glued at the hip. And I'm
Why would they separate?
I'm just very excited for that moving forward.
Well, okay. But tonight, look, he's gone right now.
Oh,
so
fuck.
she turned over, he's not there. She had figured that the matter was settled, right?
Mhm.
They didn't find the chicken.
Look
Everybody
through all
had
of them.
looked. They knew every chicken was fucking accounted for in those houses, and it wasn't there.
Twice over, both Richard and the Birdman were individually going through these chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not here.
Apparently, also, Zed had railed with Anne at Richard about the whole situation. I know I
thought
said
you were
that really
going to
weird.
say at the chickens for whatever reason.
Oh.
Listen here, you goddamn birds.
No.
Nah, I wasn't thinking about that difference of what that sentence could mean.
Or the other version of rail.
But not only did they settle the chicken matter, but Zed and Anne had basically put to bed the time matter.
Yeah.
Because they were like, listen, you're being dumb. And if it was the chimes, if that fire was a fucking weird ass chime thing, and what would you have done if you caught it? What then?
I mean, yes, but also this is when I, as Richard, look at Zed and go, how was I controlling the fire, Zed? Why was that happening? Explain that to me. When I tried to grab it, or I don't know why the fuck you would notice that it was reacting to you, but every time I tried to touch the fire or kick at it, it would move out of the way. Why was it doing that? And when Zed finally had to tell you, Richard, I don't know, then Richard goes, it's the fucking chimes and I know it. Don't tell me I'm wrong when you know I'm right. I know I'm right. And just everybody else is trying to ignore this shit. It makes perfect sense.
Also, what do you think it's going to do to me? It's every time that I've seen a little tiny ember flying on the wind, I guarantee you if I caught it or smacked it with my hands, it would go out or disperse into whatever, right? That's what they do. It might burn me a little bit on my hand, but I'm not worried about it fucking annihilating me or something. Maybe they can, right? They did say the chimes can kill.
That's true.
But if they aren't worried about it being a I was trying to grab it and snuff it out. Duh.
It was fire and I was just poking at it.
Yeah.
And it didn't do anything. Its wind demon brother came and scooped it up away. That's the only reason.
I thought it was better that it wouldn't leave. You know, I don't. Fuck.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I took a preventative measure, and now we don't have to fight the big bad at the end.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, who knows? Because it did get away.
It's like the trio of Power Rangers, kind of, except there's two less, but they come together and they form a giant robot. Or maybe just a medium-sized robot.
The chimes, come together.
I was so confused. Like, trio of Power Rangers. There was more than 3. That's not how you count Power Rangers.
Richard
Who
and Co. No, I'm saying this one has less, but then Richard and Co. could make like the Raw bot or whatever.
Okay, that makes more sense. There's pink, there's yellow, there's blue, there's black.
We got colors.
There's red.
Zed's gray. Kara's red.
Green.
Kaylin's white. Richard could be black and gold. And then we need... No,
he was green and he turned black and gold. It's different. Because he was a woods guide and now trim. He's raw.
But then, you throw like Chase in for Boundary Warden. He could be like green.
Okay, that works too.
And then we're all balanced out.
Except the never mind. Okay.
We're going to spend more time doing this. It's just not going to be right now.
This is going to be the rest of my night.
Okay. So, Anne did also let them know that Warren wrote back in the journey book, and him and Verna confirmed they knew of that book, The Mountain's Twin, that Richard had asked about. It was in Jigang's possession, but it, along with another book called The Book of Inversion and Duplex, which was not in Jigang's possession, were destroyed. They destroyed them.
Layman's terms, this is the book of upside down and doubles?
Yeah.
Okay.
And those books were destroyed by Nathan's instruction. So once again, we're getting a thing of like, Nathan doing stuff. And at this point, like, I kind of wish we got instances of Nathan being quote unquote wrong. And maybe later on we learn that it was right.
Thing.
That's the thing. For me as a new reader, Nathan's literally never been wrong.
Oh, you're talking about the book. I'm sorry. I had to get one in.
I should have seen that coming.
One. Like, we remember, like, it's never happened on the box.
Here's the thing.
No, one this episode.
Here's the thing, Jade. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. That's my fault. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
That's my fault. But Nathan's never been wrong.
Correct.
And so, like, even last chapter, like, Anne was, hinting in her woman-to-woman talk with Kaylin that, like, oh, well, Nathan was fucking up doing this. And it's like, no, we already got confirmation that was correct. Nathan told him to destroy these books. Like, so that probably we don't get answers here, but I'm guessing the fact that that book that Richard asked about was destroyed and in Jigang's possession gave Richard a whole fuckload of information because knowing that it was Nathan's instructions to destroy that.
Yeah.
That's a clue that this is a big deal because Jigang cannot know about this shit.
Yeah. Don't lament this. This was done for a reason. It was done on purpose. And that Nathan did it. Then okay, this is good that these things are gone and out of his possession now.
That and God, these journey books are just so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard about them last chapter and how useful they are. We hear about how useful they are here. And it's just a shame that it's just never fucking discussed again.
Well, our important people don't have
Yeah, I guess now
Kaylin and Richard don't find a twinned version somewhere so that they can always keep in contact.
Or have one made.
Well, is this the
There's no magic people left?
I was gonna say, is this the Time Turner situation when the pop blew up? It blew up all the other Journey books except this one pair.
I think part of it, yeah.
And some secret ones that they had hidden underground.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that they could do. I'm also just glad that we have ours so that all of the listeners have a way to get a hold of us.
Well,
they can write in their journey books. Yeah, so it is nice.
It does give similar vibes, though, to the mirror in Harry Potter that him and Sirius have, but never ever fucking actually used.
Yeah.
And nobody else
Yeah.
has those.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Seems like that would come up again.
Real great. Anyways, so again, back to Kaylin being frustrated that it's her second married night and they didn't even want to make love to each other. While thinking about how if he was here, she would give him a kiss and let him know that she was just frustrated because she wanted to hold his hand and look lovingly into his eyes and not stare at chicken ass all day. She realizes that he had put the blanket over the top of her and taken his clothes. So he's not just going for a piss.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah, he's doing something.
Yeah, he set her up to be comfy while he was gone.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. We'll get into it a little bit. I guess we can right now. He tried to talk to her a little bit about it after he was like yelled at earlier, and they've had a couple days of him chasing chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, no, it's been one day. It's just been a couple chapters.
Boy,
Yeah,
it feels like a couple
Yeah.
A
days.
whole ass day.
Yeah.
That was a full 24 hours.
And he tried to talk to her about it, and she was not supportive. So I guess I do understand him being like, I'm going to go do my own thing because nobody's fucking listening to me. But also, I feel like he was not being very open for most of the day about what his thoughts were. And it is just a little strange for Richard, of all people, to be like, I'm going to go out in the middle of the night in the dark and leave Kaylin here by herself without letting her. Like, it's just, there's danger afoot. Seems strange.
I mean, if he thinks these evil spirits are not only in this world, that they might be here in the fucking camp with him, doesn't seem like a good idea to split the party up.
Yeah, I don't see him leaving Kaylin alone after the mysterious chicken death or the chicken that's not a chicken. Excuse me, the chicken incident. I feel like that would be the last thing Richard would normally do, is leave her alone, unless off camera or whatever, he's gotten a bunch of these mud people guards to be like, hey, you guys watch this door while I go and look around, because again, not going to leave Kaylin alone.
Right. It is strange that nobody knows. We'll get more into that in a second, but yeah, the whole thing just feels a little off for how the thing should have played out.
Yeah.
With him leaving his new bride alone in this situation.
For this to feel right, it should have been that she opens the door and shoulder to shoulder, completely surrounding the building, are just a bunch of mud people.
Yeah. Well, okay. So earlier, he had told her that the reason that he's been chasing this so intensely is that the dead chicken this morning had a fucking mark on its beak. And then when Birdman said that chicken doesn't look like a chicken, it had the same fucking mark.
And is alive now?
Yeah.
Because this morning it was the dead chicken
That's what I'm saying.
outside, and now it's alive.
That's what he said. It was dead, and then it was the same mark was on the chicken that the Birdman pointed out.
So now we know that the dead chicken is now an alive chicken.
It was a barred rock chicken with a mark on its beak. And then he saw a barred rock chicken with a mark on its beak alive, and the Birdman was saying, that one looks off. And then the chicken that was in the window and the chicken that fucking went and attacked the boy both had the mark too. So that's why when he was going through the fucking buildings, he was looking for a chicken with the mark on its fucking face.
Ah, okay.
And he couldn't find it.
Yeah, I think up until this point, we only knew that it was the same breed of chicken. Like they said, there was one breed of chicken that's the most common in the Mud People village.
But now there's an identifiable mark on the chicken, so we know exactly which one we are looking for.
Would have been nice to know much earlier in the fucking day, Richard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is where I get frustrated with him for not being like, hey, do we all not see the chicken has this thing on his face?
Kaylin's conversation with the Birdman, how can you tell that it's not a chicken? And he goes, well, you just kind of know.
It's a zombie chicken.
Plus it's got that super specific mark on its face, and I know that's the evil chicken.
Yeah, well, Kaylin.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, not only could Richard have said this to Kaylin or anyone else involved, like Chan or any of the other hunters looking around, apparently Richard and the Birdman are the only two people that might have known or that knew that this chicken had a specific mark
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he didn't want to sound crazy.
Yeah.
You
Sounds
already sounded crazy, sir.
Yeah, bud, that train left the station.
Anyways, I need to calm down. So you know what we need to do? We need to take a little break, have a little drinky, and we will be back right after this.
Aaron, why don't you let me know what we're drinking today?
I think I will.
Wait. No, okay, go ahead.
Sir.
No, go ahead.
Sir.
No, go ahead.
I don't like this.
Oh,
You're being
okay.
really mean.
Why?
Have you already drank some of this beer?
No.
Well, today we are drinking Devil Root. Nate, you're being real mean. I think you have drank some. It is a hard ginger beer with lime from
Thumb.
Sorry.
Wow.
From Founders Brewery, clocking in at 10%. This flavored malt beverage has sharp ginger flavor with lime and herbal notes, moderately sweet with a strong spicy finish. It's inspired by our love of real ginger beer. Devil Root is a fresh, hard ginger beer packing a refreshing kick of zesty ginger in every sip. Don't fear. The bold ginger aromatics and spicy finish are balanced by a pleasant sweetness and a hint of lime. This hard ginger beer contains the kick you've been looking for. I don't know what happened. I blacked out.
Aaron glanced around the room to just blank stares from Jade and I. I have a big problem with one thing you just said. Or read. It wasn't your opinion. It was what was written.
Okay.
This is not refreshing.
Okay.
Okay.
I do want to say you may be excluded from this, but I feel like me and you need to not rate this based on our personal preference for ginger beer.
Yeah.
Because you specifically were with him when this was picked off the shelf and
Yes.
you knew what this was going to be going in. So you
Yes.
don't downvote it for being what it is.
Oh, no. I will. It will absolutely be based on a blank flavor profile. I will not rate this at. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw it and we grabbed it because it was kind of like what the fuck is this going to taste like? Like we definitely were interested going in.
I was on the fence and he was like, well, it's what's in mules. And that's what got me. I was like, yeah, I like a good mule. So
Ginger
I'm
beer
in.
and lime are 2 of 3 very good ingredients of a mixed drink that I also enjoy a lot. However, I have learned today that it's mostly the missing ingredient that I like the most.
It's the balance of that third and fourth thing that are really kind of needed because holy shit, ginger and
spicy.
lime.
It's
That's
very
what I mean.
spicy.
It's not refreshing. When you take a sip, it's like you just had a dab of hot sauce and nothing gets cooled down.
Yeah, it's a ginger.
Which is like on an extra cold day and you're trying to warm up. I could see this being the thing you reach for. But refreshing? No. No. No, sir.
This is why redheads are called gingers.
Because they spicy.
Because they spicy?
Yeah.
I can respect it. I can. But I just don't, you can't call it refreshing. If you're spicy, you're not refreshing. And that's okay. That's okay.
Well,
but then you're not the other thing.
Nate, it feels like you have a very strong opinion of this.
I do. I have a number in mind as well.
Out of how many, out of 10 devil horns are you going to throw up right now?
I'm giving it a 4.
4 devil horns
4
out of 10.
I'm doing the thing on the can with the or whatever.
No, it's your visual
medium.
Your visual here is fantastic. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't hate the flavor. The ginger and the lime is not necessarily the issue that I have. It's that there is so much ginger that it is spicy, and I don't like that. It's too much.
All right.
So I'm giving it a 4 on my new scale. Because if immediately I'm like, I'm not sure if I like it or not, it becomes a 5, and then it tilts from there. And I feel like the flavor's fine, but it's too damn spicy.
Jen?
I'll give it a 7.
7?
Because I know that ginger beer in general, non-alcoholic ginger beer, tastes very similar to this. That is what it is. It was ginger is that flavor. I think it's fine. It's fine. I think it's solid. If you want a ginger beer, I think it's a 10%er. So I think that's solid.
Yeah.
For the taste that it has to be 10%, that's fucking solid. Like, it's spicy, but it tastes light, right?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like nothing is in my stomach yet, and I've drank half of it, which is great for a beer, because I feel like you could drink a Miller, you drink half of that, your belly's full. So I'm going to give it a 7, and I'll be happy with that.
I am giving it 6 devil horns. It says right on the can to try it over ice, and I think that's exactly it. Is like I think this will be better diluted.
Yeah.
It's strong. I like the flavor. I like the ginger. I like the lime. I like that it's not refreshing. I kind of like the hard kick. I feel a little bit more awake than I did 10 minutes ago.
That is true. Maybe we'll rate these and then we'll do the next one.
Yeah.
We'll put some over ice and see if it is better.
The next
and maybe
beer
we
break,
revisit this.
The next beer break you hear may be the cocktail version of this beer.
It's just like me, a little better diluted. We're back. And we're back. Okay, so Kaylin was like, chickens eat in the mud. So all of those chickens that you saw maybe had that mark from dirt.
Yeah, it's now well established that as the day has gone on, it has gotten dark to the point that it is pitch black before they went to bed. And it is storming. Any one of these chickens could have gotten dirt on their beak at multiple points throughout the day, which would easily explain why you think you saw both a dead and then the same chicken alive with similar markings. Buddy, just some dirt. Or they're picking at the dirt. That's all. It's just coincidence.
You know what? That's annoying. Because I'm sorry. If I said a chicken has a fucking mark on its beak,
Yeah.
do you think I don't know what fucking dirt looks like?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Oh, I'm with you.
Okay.
This is the thing
They
of
all magically washed the dirt off before
Yeah.
they went into the huts.
this is the where like you go to tell someone something and it's like, yeah, well, what if they fly there? You're fucking right. I didn't think of
What
the
if they
easy
did?
I didn't think of the very easy one contradiction that you were able to think of in 10 seconds. I am so dumb, Kaylin, that no, it never once crossed my head that chickens might have fucking dirt on their beaks. Thank you for assuming my complete and utter stupidity, you bitch.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought there might be dirt. That's why when it was the third time I saw it, I knew that it was the exact same goddamn mark.
Also, prior to us here, us three at this very table here,
This very table.
having this knowledge of this mark on the beak, we have not questioned the weirdness of the chickens. It's been pretty clear. It's a pretty clear fucking line from morning to night that there's something weird going on with the chickens. We don't need to have the black mark. We just found out about that last fucking chapter and it was like, oh, that would have been good to know. But we were following the thread even without knowing. So the fact that you're like, oh, maybe they just had dirt on it. Like, no, Kaylin, you're wrong. This just, I'm annoyed with Richard for not sharing the dirt thing or the mark. See, she gaslit me. No, there's no dirt on there. The mark on there. I'm mad at Richard for not clarifying that earlier. Also, where'd the dead chicken go? Did we bury it? Probably not. Let's go find the dead motherfucking chicken.
That's a great point.
And prove that it's not the same chicken.
That's a great
point. Or if we
point.
can't find it, then maybe it is that chicken.
Or be like, look, doesn't this look like the chicken we've been looking at all day?
Or,
also, yeah.
Or give us confirmation that we've asked about it, and then Chandelin says, oh, dead chickens. Yeah, it was immediately brought into the kitchen tent and has been defeathered, has been plucked, and is chopped up in his dinner tomorrow. That's what we do with dead chickens. Thank you for asking. But no, we don't get that.
No. Kaylin just dismissed it. She was dismissing it before the mark. Now she's dismissing the mark. So, yeah, Richard probably went outside to be like, fuck her, fuck them. I'm going to find the goddamn chicken because there's a fucking zombie chicken up in this bitch.
Do you think she rage screamed like you did just a minute ago when she said, fuck this, I'm going to go find that damn chicken?
I think Richard probably did.
That was real unbridled rage I saw in her eyes.
Yeah, because that was ridiculous. Because the dirt came out of my mouth because of Kaylin. Because Kaylin's dumbass keeps spreading misinformation. And you know what? That is annoying. And irresponsible.
It's very true.
It was nice to see that, you know, shortly before this, she was like wishing Richard was there so she could apologize. It is nice to see that she has recognized this was bad behavior I should not have acted this way. At least there's the tiny little baby step.
Hold on. Kaylin and Ann had a discussion earlier in this motherfucking day.
Yeah.
Where Kaylin and Ann both were like, okay, yeah, some shit happened. Richard doesn't always go down the path that we think he's going to, but you know what? He's the fucking seeker. He's the pebble in the motherfucking pond. We have to follow him wherever he goes. And then he goes, all these chickens have a fucking mark on their beak. They all have a birthmark that we can see. We can follow this chicken. I did not find the chicken today. And she goes, that chicken doesn't exist, Richard. They're all the same chicken. Bitch!
Timeline-wise, it doesn't show good character growth. Because, yeah, she had the conversation where she, I believe that was at least a, like, I might not like it, but I can see your point of view with Anne. Yeah. Like, I think it's safe to say that's the bare minimum that we walked away that conversation with.
But she's so annoyed at the chickens.
And immediately,
that she's not going to listen to her seeker of truth, fucking pebble in the pond husband, when he gives her fucking, here's my proof, here's my reasoning, I'm finally talking to you after this whole fucking day of, like, everyone not believing me and me just chasing weird, crazy things.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you are crazy, though.
Yeah.
It does sound absurd. It's like conspiracy theories.
Again, though, this is kind of similar to the thing with Nathan, is with hindsight, Richard has always been correct. Like, when you zoom out enough, Richard has been correct a lot. That's why they're saying, like, use his gut and all this. And we agreed to that with Anne. And immediately, the first opportunity that Kaylin got to be like, hey, you know what? Anne's right. Even let's just entertain Richard on this thought. Instead, it did the conversation of the marks on their beak. And she goes, Richard, was it really? And that's where Richard goes, you know what? You're right. There wasn't. Now let's go to bed. And I'm going to lay here silent while you go to sleep. Because when you go to sleep, I'm going to go out by myself and do shit. Because you clearly don't believe the things that you said you were going to believe.
Yeah.
Also, in this world, what is actually absurd? I do not understand the thought process of any of these characters actually being like, nah, chicken can't come back from the dead. Nah, couldn't be fucking happening. What the fuck? We have been to the underworld and come back. We have seen fucking Skreelings come from the underworld. We have seen hellhounds. We have seen fucking everything. We have fucking Gratch. Are
Jade,
you fucking joking with me that we can't fucking believe that a chicken could have a fucking evil possessed spirit? Are you fucking joking me right now that you went and fucked in the spirit world and you're gonna fucking doubt that anything could goddamn happen in this world right now? Are you serious?
Wasn't there like an animal that lived in rocks that Kaylin grew up like befriending?
Rockhound?
Yeah. I forgot.
Isn't there a sliff that fucking brought you here?
There's
that was
a woman
created?
who got turned into a travel device. A magical travel device with limitations. But you're right. Weird chickens is insane to consider.
It's dirt. Fuck you. Anyways, no wonder Richard decided to go out in the middle of the night, because if his wife won't listen to him, then who would? And honestly, Richard, fucking same. Fucking same, bud. I don't know if you can tell. I'm on your side with this. Fucking bullshit. So she does decide to go after him at this point.
Better late than never, I guess.
Once she's outside, Kara's not there, which to me seems weird, but I guess she has to sleep sometime. She did go to bed. The hunters pop up, and they don't know Richard's gone either.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. Okay,
They didn't notice it at all.
Well, that's a problem then. That would have been my number one thing. Like, Richard's gone, but there is a fucking ring of people around me, as Kaylin would assume.
They are there, but they don't know.
Her waking up, Richard doubled over the blanket to keep her all nice and cozy, so maybe she wouldn't wake up and notice that he was gone. He didn't take the extra precautions. If I'm Kaylin, Now I'm starting to worry a little bit.
Yeah.
If I wasn't before, and like, you know what? He has to figure out this thing about the chickens. He's not going to rest until he does it. I might find it odd or that it's a waste of time, but if he gets this thing done and comes to the conclusion that I suspect the chicken thing is bullshit, then he's got it out of his system. We can worry about what's really going on. So she's not upset until she gets outside and realizes that he's done the unsafe thing and he's probably just being impulsive. Now Kaylin's mad.
Now it's also unsafe, though, but not only because she's left unawares that she's alone. The hunters don't know that he's not in there. Not that they should be less cautious because they think Richard's there, but still, they don't know that Richard is skulking around in the dark.
They didn't know that he's left.
So, like, maybe he'll be secret. Maybe they won't notice him. But maybe they do see a figure in the dark and shoot with their fucking poison arrows.
Yeah.
And Richard dies because he didn't tell his protective hunters, I went out for a stroll at night and I'm coming back to go sleep in my bed.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. That it was like, hey, I just want to be left alone to clear my head. But then the guards that are not around the house, the building right now that don't know about this at all, yeah, they're just going to shoot at clearly a human-looking thing in the night that's sneaking around camp.
He crashes into the woods, then it'll be Richard with the lumpy head.
He better be able to explain himself within 10 steps.
Oh, God.
And I hope they can get to him within 10 steps.
Yeah. I was so ready to make jokes about how Richard very clearly does not want to be followed or with anyone. So if there is one thing we can trust right now is that Kaylin is going to do whatever she can to find and be with him because she always does the exact opposite of what he clearly wants. But that's so much worse.
Yeah.
Richard's dead. I'm convinced Richard's dead.
I'm just saying,
Richard is dead now.
It's a bad choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He dies off screen.
God, can you imagine?
But she does convince the hunters to go look for him, which is not I don't feel like it's a hard ask anyways, because like, hey, he's not in bed. He just
Hey, you guys want to help me find the guy you're supposed to be protecting?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
She does, interesting, I didn't put in my notes here, but she does take off her boots because she can't really walk in the mud without them. They're much quicker without them. So she's like walking around barefoot with the candle in the dark. And she's a confessor of the Midlands. And so many people would be like, oh my God, clutching their pearls. Ugh, it was just a no.
It was weird that was made note of in the book. We clearly have gotten four books and 8 full chapters learning about Kaylin roughing it. Like, I didn't need another example of that Kaylin can rough and tumble with the boys.
Fucking hardcore.
She rode into battle naked.
And maybe this is again just now that you mention it, it's probably just an exposition for the reader who hasn't read to know that people would think that this is absurd, but we don't if you've been a reader.
I know what it's for. It's with Kaylin. We get to it in just a couple of things when she arrives at the play. Well, we'll see. We'll get there. I'll bring it up.
All right.
The reason she doesn't have shoes.
Okay. It does occur to her that while pleading with them, that Richard was searching alone because no one believed him. And now she's like trying to get these guys to believe her.
Right.
And so she doesn't have to search alone, which, it is kind of funny because she's not searching alone.
Yeah.
And they do believe her fairly easily. And you didn't believe your husband, the seeker of truth, when he showed you very clear signs of fucking craziness. And again,
hey, Kaylin.
we just chimes, chickens, we know.
How's it feel, Kaylin, to be in Richard's shoes right now? Does it
more
feel
privileged and actually get the help you need?
And it still feels bad. Imagine how it must feel if you were truly in his shoes.
I feel like he needs to stand at the top of one of these buildings with those lights that they use to guide airplanes and be like, Kaylin, babe, figured it out already. Just follow me. Come on. It's done. What are you doing?
Well, he doesn't. We don't see him. She stumbles around with her little candle in the dark. And she searches in the pouring rain. She walks through a downpour off a house, like a horror movie, and gets just soaked. You know,
Gets
she's wearing
extra wet.
she's wearing a white nightgown.
it was-
her nipples are out. It's a whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, she thinks that maybe he wasn't going to the chickens. Maybe he's not looking for the chickens. Maybe he went to check on Junie. Maybe he was having a sentimental moment.
That is a Richard thing to do.
Yeah. So she decided to go to the dead
Place.
house. I wrote funeral house in the notes, but they don't call it a funeral. I don't really know what they call it. I didn't double check the book when I was writing the notes, I guess. But it's the place where they prepare the dead to be buried. She walks in, she sees the baby, and she's sad.
Yeah, she's very sad.
She's very sad.
The thing quickly before we move on to the super, super sad thing, for a little bit of enlightenment, Kaylin doesn't have any shoes on, and when she gets in this building, she freaks out just a little bit because a bug pops underneath her foot.
Yeah, I didn't put that in the notes.
Yeah, and that's just why. They just want you to be tuned into her senses while she goes into
Yes,
this thing.
I do feel this. This is
like
a
the
very
popped bug. It's dirty. You can
This
feel
whole-
the grit on your feet. and
Honestly,
you're sneaking around
It's
in the
super
cool
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could film a short video prior to Halloween. I don't know when we're going to record
Halloween?
this. Halloween. I don't know when we're going to release this, but as of recording, it's prior to Halloween.
Mhm.
So I feel like there could be a short that's filmed where the female protagonist, is wandering around in her white nightgown. She gets just absolutely fucking soaked. And then ends up going into the dead house with bare feet, popping over the gross little bugs. And
Yeah.
then she zooms in very closely into the baby. It's so sad. Forget we saw it earlier. First time we're seeing it. It's very sad.
It is very sad.
So fucking sad.
I'm so sad right now.
I can't think about anything but how sad this fucking... I'm going to touch this fucking sad baby. She's going to touch it. She thinks about it, holding her hand, but it can't because it's dead. And while she's crying, she hears this noise behind her. You don't see it, right? You just hear it off screen. Kind of, like stereo, where it's just behind your ears. I don't know how to do that with these microphones, but it's just like behind you in the background. But it's actually tap, 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 tap. And when she turns, it's a chicken standing on Junie's chest, pecking his eyes out.
No!
Yeah, like a jump scare moment because she was like having a sentimental, like sad moment with the baby, the dead baby.
It was sad, and then now it's fucking...
And it's like,
It's the chicken!
dead eyeballs.
There was one that they didn't fucking find. It's been sneaking around.
They said all the
Oh.
chickens
They
were
had
in the
gotten
3 houses.
all of 'em.
So they missed one.
Here's my question. Did they open the doors to the chickens?
Did they open the doors to the chickens? Oh, like after they confirmed that it wasn't there?
Are the chickens still
that's a good
confined?
question.
Are the chickens still confined right now?
That's a good question. Would Richard order the chickens to be confined through the night? I think there's a chance he would, but
Why?
I mean, as far as the book is concerned, we have not been told.
Because the animal, lover in me is like, you
Yeah.
confirmed there's no fucking chicken in
Yeah.
there.
Why are we punishing innocent chickens?
Why are they stuffed in there?
That's
Let
a
them
great-
fucking out.
Yeah.
They might stay in there because it's raining.
That's
but
a great
Give
question.
them the fucking option.
Well, that's what they have to tell the chickens. They have to say, oh, it's raining, so we're keeping you dry because we like you guys so
But-
much. You're so well dressed and you smell so good today.
You guys go sleep
Yeah.
in your houses anyway. This is just a vacation.
Upgrade.
We had first class upgrades available.
Because, it's convenient if they're all locked up still.
Yeah.
There's one
But
still
yeah,
out.
why would they?
Obviously, this is the evil... either way. Either way.
Yeah.
This is the evil chicken.
It is now. Even if it wasn't,
Even
it's
if it
doing
wa- it
something
is.
kind of fucking evil.
Is it, though? Because
Well-
the chickens are allowed into this dead person
Yes.
house to eat the grubs and the bad stuff.
Yep. It's been established.
Maybe they don't typically eat eyeballs.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah, they know that's it. They eat the grubs that eat the viscera.
you cannot blame a chicken for being a chicken.
No.
Just like you can't blame a cat for being a cat. Or anybody for being anything.
Yeah.
You let them in there. It's your fucking fault if they were crazy. You shouldn't have put them in there. Now you know your lesson. Now you'll keep the door shut, maybe. But it might be an evil chicken. Maybe it's just a chicken being a chicken.
Maybe he's just a misunderstood
They're
chicken.
fucking jealous. Like, maybe those are fucking good little morsels
And-
in there. I've never eaten an eyeball. Have you?
Unfortunately, we know that it's dark enough that Kaylin, if she got a good look at its beak, we don't get told. We don't get told if it's got a mark on it.
That's true. It's
So,
just it's
giant
just a gnarly
cliffhanger.
chicken doing
She would
some
probably
scary
just think
shit.
it's a blood clot because she's a bitch.
This just be a blood clot. Yeah, just this a little eyeball. It's just a little eyeball.
Little eyeball.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of eyeball. Yeah, that's a hell of a cliffhanger, though.
Holy shit!
I just
Still
real
don't know
quick.
who Richard is.
I thought for sure your filmed one shot, or short video thing, the tap 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 was going to be revealed to be Nate getting a beer because he always does the tap
That
tap
would've
tap
been- that would've
before
been
he
good.
opens.
That would have been good.
I like it. I like it.
Well, that's our truth.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a pretty little cute little truth today. And we would love to hear yours. So you should write into your journey books at podcastatt.com. Wow. podcastatt@gmail.com. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the totally real sound effects. Please let us know what kind of sound effects you like there. If you like that, what just happened there.
Does that sound like
Or-
writing? Please let us know if it does.
Yeah, that was my question. Or find us on any of our social medias.
Glug glug.
Glug 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 glug.
Glug 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 glug.
If you'd like to support this podcast and hear some more amazing, beautiful, sparkling content, find us over on Wow, I can't do any of our things. I'm sorry. Patreon.com/podcastatt. Where every single tier is a happy tier. That's all for us, friends.
That was a weird thing I just did. I'm sorry. Thank you all very, very much for listening, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Mr. Seeker, kill some evil.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Then go
Why
eat
you-
chicken till your belly is full.
Get
Why
that
you
big
peck
old
them
cock.
eyes?
Make love to your wife after you save the day.
Oh, yeah, you're talking to Richard.
Unless she's not listening to you.
Yeah, then fuck it, I guess you're done.
There you go, guys. Auto tune that.